So a preparation for a quarterfinal test is first, as soon as we know the events, we start analyzing and planning. We start looking for where's the trap in the workout. You know, when CrossFit Games program them that there's a trap in the workout. And our job is to try to find out where the trap is and how to basically navigate the workout the best. As it's team of 4 workouts, it requires a lot more planning, that I would say, compared to individual, as there's a lot more moving pieces, a lot more strategy that comes into place. Once we have kind of made up our plan and strategy for the event, we build the warm-up strategy. We build up the warm-up plan essentially, and that's built up in sort of 3 key elements. It starts with movement prep, which is typically some sort of mobility work to get the joints ready and mobile. The second part is like a lung or heart rate opener. And that will typically be some cyclical machine work with decreasing time domain, where we will be increasing the effort. Depending on the test, this will be either fairly short, like 7 to 9 minutes, or even longer if it's a really sprint event. The third element is more sport-specific prep, which starts with building up or prepping for the actual exercises. So if there's rope climbs or front squats, we look at those exercises specifically. And then in the very end, we run through workout intervals that simulate the actual workout. The first event that was announced was a 15-minute AMRAP where all 4 athletes had to kind of move simultaneously throughout the whole workout. When we saw that workout, I think, the first thing that comes to mind is really that it's a test that requires the whole team to have a certain level of fitness, as you can't play on anybody's strengths, as everyone on the team must be able to do all of the work.
So day 1 of the quarterfinals, test 1 we had today. I was quite nervous about the test going in, just because I'm on a team with some really strong squatters, and sometimes with the handstand walking I can fatigue quite a lot. But I think for me personally it was a huge win, because I felt like we had a good strategy, which I was also able to stick to.
The plan for event 1 was to meet really good standards on the squat. As it's synchronized squats, and that's just one movement that could easily get rushed, so we made sure that we paused on the top of every rep to just really mark that full knee and hip extension, and then really try to push the handstand walks as fast as possible, especially coming from the front squat to the handstand walk. The 2 athletes that were selected to do that had to really make sure to push that transition, as that was kind of what we found to be one of the transitions where a lot of time could be lost, and unnecessary time.
As a team, I really had the feeling that we were coming together and running back to the bar at the same time, and also just keeping each other motivated and staying with the pace was a super great experience. It's always, for me, when I'm really nervous about a workout and it turns out to just be a really great experience, it's nice for me to have that win and also feel more confident in movements I previously thought was more of a weakness. Straight after a test finishes, there's always the lay on the floor time a bit, pick yourself back up, which my teammates are fine with, just scraping me off the floor. And then we get into like fueling, carbs straight in, and usually we do a sort of a debrief about the event, so sit down, have a talk, and then after debrief we usually get big meal in, go shower, have a nap if you feel like it.
Workout 2 was 400 meter rowing each. Then we did 10 shoulder to overhead synchro, and we ended with max rope climbs in the remaining time of the 3-minute window. And that went for 18 minutes which means we did 3-minute section 3 times each.
Before the workout, we would do like a very detailed run through. So make sure that everybody agrees on the strategy. We all know what to do. We would always practice a very small round as well. So just a shortened version of the workout, just to make sure we have done all the transitions and we're sure that everybody knows where to stand. So like no seconds would go wasted.
Every rep will make a huge difference here. And you will have to keep jumping up until Natalie says, stop. One thing we have to consider for the third round that I thought about, if we feel good, you think legless is faster?
Yes, legless is faster. I've seen it before.
I've been thinking about
for me, I think.
for us. Not for the girls, it's not faster.
The strategy for workout 2 was Andre and me was rowing in a pace which was 1K pace plus 5 to 8 seconds. And then we went straight onto the shoulder to overhead, did them unbroken, and then we went for 2s on the rope planks.
For workout 2, we were able to stick to our plan. We even rowed a little bit faster than we thought we could. That was actually really nice. And we stuck with the quick transitions and everything had to just be really fast and smooth. Also with no shortcuts, we are used to doing intervals with rest. So it's something we were really well prepared for. And we just really wanted to send it full on for 3 minutes because of the practice we've been doing in training, that we would recover in the rest. So that's why we could send it for the full 3 minutes.
The execution of workout 2 went well. It's always hard to tell what a good score is, but I think we did, both me and Andre did the best we could. We didn't make any huge mistakes, and the girls did awesome too and didn't make any huge mistakes either. So overall, for the team, it went quite good.
Today is day 2 of the quarterfinals for teams. Today we're going to take on event number 3A and B, and we're also going to take on event number 4. Yesterday we had a great day, and I'm hoping we can keep up the pace for this day number 2 and then see where it all stacks up towards the end. We start with the test 3, which is essentially 2 workouts. It's an A part and a B part, and they're scored separately. For the first part, we'll do a 4-person relay. So one person goes through the entire workout, which is 10 bar muscle ups, 20 deadlifts, 30 GHD sit-ups, 20 deadlifts again, and 10 bar muscle ups, and then the next person can go.
After the last male athlete finished his last bar muscle ups, then 3B began, which was 5 minutes AMRAP of clean and jerks, actually. So both the male-male pair and the female-female pair worked at the same time.
We had a strategy deciding what order we were going to go in. I think what we did there is put me in first because I was supposedly going to be better on the barbell and then needed more time to recover. And then we had Andre and Nienke and then Julian in the end.
I was the last male athlete on 3A, which means that the 5 minutes AMRAP on the clean jerks began when I was done with my last bar muscle ups. So after my last bar muscle ups, we decided that I needed to take like at least 1 minute where Andre was alone on the barbell. And after 1 minute, I actually think it became more like 90 seconds. Then I joined Andre on the clean and jerk.
I started the relay style workout the first test, which went pretty well. Try to be nice and calm and just stay with the deadlifts, which I felt was the main issue of the workout. And then we did the clean and jerks. Went really well. I was surprised with how heavy the weight felt, but then I also failed a rep. But otherwise, it was really good.
It was insane.
Yeah.
We did almost the same numbers as you did, and I did maybe 2.
But when I finished the workout, I was feeling so bad for you because I was feeling pretty wrecked after the workout. I was like, oh my god, Julian has to go straight into the bar.
He's not gonna come anytime.
I was like, he's gonna take a long rest.
Bro, you did an amazing job. I just have to say, really great job.
Event 3A was the single man relay where one female goes, one male goes, one female goes, one male goes. We had put us in an order that we thought could maximize our chances for 3B, getting as many reps as possible. I think that went pretty smooth. The main bottleneck in that workout was essentially to be able to do 2 sets of 10 unbroken bar muscle ups. And of course 30 GHC unbroken. The deadlifts, taking a break wouldn't cost a lot of seconds. So we kind of placed the focus on unbroken fast bar muscle ups, of course unbroken and fast GHD. And then on the deadlifts you could break it up as you needed, but just with short breaks and fast pickup. And everyone were able to kind of execute that to a T as planned. And that was super good, and that left, especially me and Julie, who started the workout very fresh for the clean and jerk, which was the 3B part where you had to do as many clean and jerks at 275, 185 as possible for 5 minutes. You could swap in teammates, but obviously the last female and the last male that went towards the end had a very little recovery time. So the people who went first really had to make sure they could get a lot of reps in. And I think that went pretty good. We fought as much as we could. We had a few failed lifts, but I think that was kind of a good thing because that meant that we were pushing that fine line, which is what you want to do when it's game time.
For the whole setup and in between events, we also have so many great people helping us. Natalie and Jakub has been there the whole day to double judge us and make sure that we do the floor brands.
My name is Natalie. I am 40 years old. And I am Andre's fiance, and I come from Germany originally, but grew up in France. Me and Andre have created NoShortCuts 3 years ago when we moved back to Denmark from Dubai, and it has been a project that we have built from the ground together. During the quarterfinals, I have been in charge of judging the whole team, helping also out with the measurements and the logistics of the workouts and making sure that everybody has their proper settings set up. And then the backside of it that we don't really see, just making sure that all the athletes are feeling at home and in our home.
My name is Eko Smejkal. I'm 28 years old and I'm from Czech Republic. So I work in kind of a collaboration with the NoShortCuts and Andre as a remote coach, and I take most of the individual athletes acquiring for coaching. So Andre asked me a week or 2 ago if I want to come here and help a little bit with the judging and give a hand or 2. And so that's a no-brainer for me. Least I can do.
Workout 4 was a couplet, which means there are 2 exercises. In this case, it was shuttle runs and dumbbell thrusters in a synchronized way with a male and female working at the same time. And then it was also a ladder, meaning that the reps increase for every round you do. It started with 1 shuttle run and 2 dumbbell thrusters, and then it goes to 2 shuttle runs and 4 dumbbell thrusters. So this goes up until 7 minutes, And then it was the turn for the other pair to do their work for also 7 minutes. Our strategy was to do fast synchronized thrusters, go straight into the run, try to breathe, and just make sure that we actually did the shuttle runs quite synchronized as well. So it doesn't feel like you are too much ahead of somebody, because sometimes it may or may not stress you out.
Hang in there!
Let's go, come on!
Four,
7,
3, 2,
8,
1,
9.
time!
Especially on just the first shuttle run, and then you get into the rhythm. But the first shuttle run, I was like,
The thrusters were more like, oh, nice break, right? And then the run was like gassy, and thrust was like, okay, breathe, just relax.
It felt pretty light, the thrusters, I found.
Yeah, that's what I
It's
mean.
like,
yeah, agree.
I felt like it would be harder for the shoulders than it was. It wasn't
Yeah.
shoulders at all. Just back.
Just back. Yeah, just back.
I think we can be proud of ourselves. Seemed like we did our very best, and it's how fit we are now. But there's a lot more work to do. 2 more months. A lot can happen.
The strategy for event 4 was to be straight on to the dumbbell thrusters. So both Julie and I did a pace on the shuttle runs where we could go straight to the dumbbell thrusters and go unbroken all the time.
The quarterfinals are finished, and hopefully next up we'll have the semifinals, which is the next stage of the CrossFit Games season. And this will be the first in-person live competition where we hopefully get to take on an actual competition floor and a live audience and being able to perform on the day on a given event. So I'm very excited for us to move on to the next stage. Will mean that we'll have to implement more of things we've been working on in training and hopefully look forward to some versatile, fun events.
The top 40 teams from each region will move on to the semifinals, which is coming up in the beginning of June, which is a 3-day competition. It's live, you're head-to-head with all the best teams in Europe. You're on the floor with them, and you're going to be going through approximately 6 events across those 3 days. The skill level will be higher, the worm will most likely be included, and there will just be a lot more racing as you're next to your competitors and you're fighting for that top 10, which is going to unlock a CrossFit Games ticket, which is the ultimate goal for most competitors. So the next 2 months, we have just eyes on the semifinals, focusing on preparing ourselves as good as possible for that. We've learned things in the open and the quarterfinal stage that we're going to take with us. And we're just gonna keep doing what we've been doing since January. Training hard, ticking the boxes every week, and just focusing on the process rather than the outcome, because we believe our philosophy is that, if you place all your focus and attention to the day-to-day tasks that will take you to, the end destination that you want to go to, then you maximize your chances of getting there, and that's what we're gonna do.